Ain't nobody fucking with my.
Hello everybody, it's HanZ again, back with a brand new video. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about what I think Call of Duty should do next. So we all know that Treyarch is making their next game, and it's it's been confirmed that's going to be Black Ops 4. And their last game was Black Ops 3, which was actually a huge hit. You know, it did better than Advanced Warfare, and it did better than Infinite Warfare. And people genuinely loved that game. So today, I was thinking about what should they do next, and the trailer didn't really give away any hints on the setting or the type of game it was gonna be. Like if it was gonna be a World War game or future or boots on the ground. We're not sure, but I can pretty safely say that it's gonna be a boots on the ground game because World War II was pretty damn successful, breaking records, and a lot of people enjoyed the game. It had its problems, and not every game is gonna be flawless. But World War II was pretty decent game, pretty good, comeback for Call of Duty, especially after the disaster that Infinite Warfare was. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna stay to boots on the ground because the advanced movement system from Advanced Warfare and then Infinite Warfare and BO3, it was pretty much hated universally. Not a lot of people even liked that movement system. Fucking everyone flying around, running on walls, just didn't feel like Call of Duty. Felt more like a Titanfall or a Halo type of game. It didn't have the feeling that old Call of Duty gave us, like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2. So in my opinion, Call of Duty should go to the modern era. And I remember a couple months ago, Treyarch posted a job listing of, modern day weapons expert. And they put that up, and people started speculating that if they were working on a modern day shooter, because of course modern weaponry is going to be applied to modern day shooters. And that's going to be very interesting to see because Treyarch has never done a modern shooter. Well, Black Ops 2 was set in 2025, which is not too far away from now. But if you're considering to when Black Ops 2 was released, which was like 4 or 5 years ago, then back then 2025 was the future. But now 2025 isn't too far off. But I would still consider it a futuristic Call of Duty. And Black Ops, as we know, was during the Cold War in the 60s. And World at War, World War II. And Black Ops 3 was way far in the future. So they've never really worked on a modern day game like Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. They were all relatively modern games. Even Ghost was, more modern than BO2. So I'm hoping that it's a modern shooter game. And if it's not a modern shooter game, which I'm kind of skeptical on because Modern Warfare Infinity Ward is mainly used for modern games. That's what they are known for. So I was hoping that they would make a Vietnam type of game based around the Vietnam War, and I just find that to be a very, very cool setting for the genre and for the series, because that's a time era that Call of Duty has never visited. Well, it was slightly visited in Black Ops 1, but it wasn't really expanded upon, and it wasn't very thorough to give an understanding about what happened during that time period. And if Call of Duty went back to that era and actually focused on it and try to give us a thorough and engaging timeline and relate it, they could possibly relate it to the Black Ops series. Well, they kind of have to relate it to the Black Ops series because the title is Black Ops 4, and they could connect it to Black Ops 1 spin-off type of thing, prequel. I don't know, they could. There are a lot of possibilities that they can go with this. But all I know, man, Treyarch is an excellent developing company. Best Call of Duty developing company. My favorite is still gonna be Infinity Ward, even though Ghost and Infinite Warfare was not the best games. But that's the first Modern Warfare 1, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 were just so fucking amazing for me that love them so much that those three games are just above and beyond for me. That's why I love Infinity Ward the most. But Treyarch is solid. They've never made a bad game. They always innovate. They always bring a lot of content and quality to their games. Black Ops 3 was like overflowing with content. The supply drops and the DLCs and the campaign and zombies, and then they introduced Zombie Chronicle. Very successful game, very well made, very well loved. So I think Shark can't really mess this up, you know? They're amazing. They have really good track records, especially with Call of Duty. And we know that they're going back in the past. And we know it's going to be related to the Black Ops timeline, which is a huge positive because Black Ops is one of the most loved series in Call of Duty. Black Ops and Modern Warfare, these are like the main two series, and people go back and forth. So if they expand on the Black Ops series or add to the lore and the characters and the events, I feel like that would be a very interesting thing for them to do, which they are doing. But I'm just very curious about the timeline. So please mention in the comments below what you guys want to see in Call of Duty, and thank you for subscribing. Okay, done now.
Enemy recon aircraft in the air. Kill confirmed. Enemy recon aircraft in the air. Incoming enemy artillery. Get to cover. Recon airborne searching for targets. Kill confirmed. Kill denied. Recon airborne searching for targets. Fighter pilot inbound, strafing the target. Enemy recon aircraft in the air. Recon airborne. Kill denied. Dropping Fritz X-bomb. Kill confirmed. Recon aircraft scrambled. Fritz X bombing mission ready. Kill confirmed. Dropping Fritz X-bomb. Dropping Fritz X-bomb. Recon searching for targets. We're being outmaneuvered. Recon fight concluded. Enemy recon aircraft in the air. Kill confirmed. Bomb incoming. Get to cover. Firing primary net. Target position confirmed. We lost good men today. Learn from this failure.
We got carried. By Jove, Jibber Jab is a good carrier.